What's up, everybody? I'm Jordan Weber. Today I'm going to give you a beginner's breakdown of the 90-90 stretch. So what you can do is start in the cross-leg position, and then we're going to move our way into the 90-90. So the first thing we're going to do is you can bring your hands behind you, and then what we're going to do is just bring both feet out. We call this a bear stretch in Kinstretch. And then from here, we're going to rotate both of those legs toward either side. If you want to mirror me and face this way, so your top foot should be mirroring mine, and your back foot as well. So we want to make sure that this front foot is lined up with this back knee, back ankle. Okay, so if there was a line here, like I have a line here, you could line it up that way. Also, this front knee, we want to make sure it isn't too bent. We want it about 90 degrees, and we want this femur straight out in front of the hip. And as we look forward, our sternum should be going over the femur. Okay. From here, we should be making a 90-degree angle here as well as here and here. And so our back leg is also 90 degrees. If you need to bring your hands behind you to help support yourself, you may do that. If this is causing any pain or irritation, then we're not ready for the 90-90 stretch. Okay, so I have some other videos that I can show you. So if we're still here, what we're going to do is face in the direction of this lead leg. We have our lead leg, which is an external rotation, and our trail leg, which is an internal hip rotation. So you have hip external and internal. So this is a good way to also assess your external rotation front leg and internal rotation back leg. If there's any pain or discomfort here, then you know you have some internal rotation problems. If you have pain or discomfort here, then you know you have external hip rotation problems. Okay, so this is a good way to assess. From here, what we're going to do is just stand up or try to sit up nice and tall. We want to limit flexing the back. Okay, that's not going to get us in a properly stretched position. What we want to do is actually arch your lower back, so create a little bit of a more lordosis in the lower back here, and try to bring the chest up. When you do that, immediately you should feel a little bit of tension in that front outer glute, okay, or butt. From here, what we're going to do is lean forward. Notice I have my hands kind of out to the side like a kickstand of a bike, so to make me up, so to help me with my stance. I could also hold on to boxes here or dowels if you need it. And then what I'm going to do is lean or hinge forward, and I should feel a stretch in the upper outer thigh or in this glute area. You might feel it running down into places you've never felt before. If you've never done this stretch, you might just feel like it's everywhere. And all we're going to do is just try to find a position of stretch that you can manage. Okay, so you don't feel too tight by going too far down, and you're not going to just sit up here and not feel anything. So trying to find a midway, trying to find your own line of tension that works best for you. And so this would be our passive stretch. So in this position, we would passively hold, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 8. We've been here for a while, probably for about 2 minutes, and we've been breathing, hopefully. So after we've held this for about 2 minutes of inhaling for 4, exhaling for 8, and getting used to this position, then we want to start driving this leg into the ground. Okay, just 1% effort, 2% effort, just a little bit of effort. So we're not going into a position of full out extreme pain as soon as you start pushing into the ground. Some people make that mistake. So very low efforts and loads into the ground, and you can work that effort up progressively up to 10%, and then working your way to 15%, to 20%, 25 to 30%, and just feeling that load and feeling those tissues that were stretched now beginning to tense. And so now pretend there's like a scale underneath this shin here, and you're trying to drive not only the foot and the shin, but the knee and the thigh into the ground at 40%. You begin to use your hands, your whole body, back leg, pushing it into the ground. You're using almost everything to push this into the ground, 50%, 60%. So trying to find your safest and greatest effort. After you do that, hold it for about 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, pushing in, safe effort as high as you can. And then what we're going to do is pull away from the ground by trying to go deeper into external hip rotation and hip flexion. and holding that upwards to 15 to 20 seconds. Trying to drive this foot off the ground, pretend it's being pulled up toward the sky. That's where you're really going to find that external hip rotation. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then slowly bring it down. Go back to your passive stretch, and then you can repeat that process for as many times as your prescribed efforts. Okay, so making sure that if you do that today, you don't overdo it, and then also you add it to your workout routine. So you're adding this as a way to improve hip external rotation. For hip internal rotation, what I'll do is I would twist toward that back leg, bring my hands behind me. That would be option 1. I'm going to feel a stretch in this back tissue here. Don't really worry about the exact muscles, but we're going to feel it on the upper and outer side of the tissue here. Okay? And what we'll also do is feel it on the insides of the tissue. So we might feel it in a little bit of different areas. And then when we come up like this for a more advanced position, we might start feeling it a little bit more. What we would do is passively hold this position for about 2 minutes, inhaling 4, exhaling for 8. Trying to rotate this back shoulder toward this back foot while you're in 90-90. So the more advanced you are, you can kind of actually go into this position and hold here, or you can bring your hands behind you and hold here. So after about 2 minutes of passively holding this position, inhale 4, exhale 8, what we do is start driving this foot, ankle, shin, knee, all this hip stuff that's being stretched, we start pushing into the ground, okay? Trying to get out of this position, okay? And then after that, what we're going to do is try to internally rotate and try to bring that back foot off of the ground. So trying to lift that back heel off the ground, going deeper into internal rotation. So we're going to fight against this, pressing into the ground, 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, all the way to your safest and greatest effort here, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then internal hip rotation. You might have to lean forward and cheat, or if you don't want to cheat and really try to internally rotate that hip as you're in this position, you really feel it firing here. Trying to drive it off the ground and hold. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So as you saw here, you could also, a beginner might want to just go like this during that time. So press it and then try to pull it off the ground. More advanced, you can try to sit up and try to do that. The foot might not leave the ground, and that's totally fine. But if you want to practice liftoffs, you're definitely going to have to lean forward. Okay, so you have different components in these stretches. So I can lift this off and then set it down. I can lift this off and set it down. I can hold it here in my end range, let go, and then hold. So we call that a hold, passive range hold. Same thing with internal rotation. Passive range hold, let go, try to hold it. You can hold it there 5, 10 seconds, whatever it may be. Okay, and that would be your hip external and hip internal rotation, pals and rails, and some passive range liftoffs and holds. Thanks. So let's go ahead and run through it on the other side. What you can do is go back to that bear pose, rotate those legs toward this side. Okay, same thing, sitting up nice and tall, arch the lower back, lean forward. Hands are like kickstands, 90-degree angles here. Make sure you're lined up, all 90s, and then this is all on the same line here as well. Leaning forward, hinging forward, inhale 4, exhale 8. Inhale 4, exhale 8. So I'm going to go ahead and begin the 90-90 stretch using the 2-minute passive hold with a 30-second pals and a 20-second rails. I'm going to do this all using the clock here, okay? We're going to start in about 5 more seconds. I'm going to try to continue the inhale 4, exhale 8 for the whole entire passive range. Here we go. Inhale, Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Got about 30 more seconds of passive breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Quick in and out. Alright, so we're gonna start building tension from the ankle to the shin to the knee to the hip into the ground. 5% effort. Make sure everything is nice and stable here. You can use your upper body for support and for effort and load. Pressing down 5%, 10%, 15%, 15 to 20%, 20 to 25%, 25 to 30, 35 to 40, 45 to 50, 55 to 60, 60 to 70 to your greatest and safest effort here. Feeling all of that tissue begin to be stimulated. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep pressing. 3, 2, and now we're going to pull off the ground, going deeper into hip external rotation. Trying to hold this for about 20 seconds here. Trying to pull that foot off the ground. Pull it up, push into the ground, pull up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly bring it down. Okay, then you can repeat that as needed. Okay, if you need to get out of this position and back into it, you can as well. Now we're going to focus on hip internal rotation. We're going to go back to our passive breathing. Inhale 4, exhale 8. Option 3, option 2, option 1. Breathe and hold. Inhale. Long exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, keep breathing. Okay, we're going to start pressing this leg into the ground. 5%, 10%. Whole thigh starts pressing into the ground. 10% to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, all the way up to your safest and greatest effort for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and try to go deeper into internal rotation. You should feel it right here. Try to get that back foot off the ground. Hold. Keep holding here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. So that might be nodding up. What we call nodding is really just called, we call neurological confusion. Muscle doesn't know what it's doing. Okay, muscles can't get actually bound and intertwined. So from here we can just go to a butterfly position. Okay, you might be sore from that. So sometimes, just like strength training, if you haven't used the tissue in a long time and you're using it for the first time in a long time, then you can be sore. If you use these tissues before, you might not be as sore. Okay, back to that bear position. Pull yourself in. Then you can go to a straddle position. And here you can kind of just loosen up the hips by just doing external and internal hip rotations in your end range here. Okay, and then the last thing you can do is go from internal rotation or 90-90 on one side and then transitioning to bear to 90-90 and using this as a, I guess you could call, mobility drill, and kind of working your way and trying to keep your feet and knees in the same position as they were each time, so trying to stay in the same spot. Okay, so that would be 90-90 transition. All right, everybody, that is your beginner's guide to 90-90. Remember that all of this should be prescribed, and you should definitely gain a lot more knowledge on it before attempting. Thanks.